Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the fourth episode of Toxic Masculinity. I'm here with my good friends Jason Labrata and Kurt Franklin. Jason, Kurt, how are you guys doing this morning?
I'm doing
fine,
great.
thank you,
I can't believe we made it to the fourth episode. By the way, I'm sporting my
It's not the biggest achievement. Yeah.
My America Most Wanted.
Yeah, this is
Yes,
he's
nice.
sporting some Mr. Reagan merch. You gotta love that. You gotta love that.
Yeah.
All right. So do we have people here? Anthony Mark, he's here. Let's welcome the panel. Well, thank you so much, Anthony Mark. Yeah, I guess we got 42 people watching, at least on as far as I could tell. So great. So we got some people here. Frodo lives. Love to see you there. And hopefully we start getting some more people rolling in here shortly. But we can kind of jump straight into it because we have a heck of a lot of news to cover today. We got a lot of stories for you. And I think this is going to be a lot of fun. As you watch, just make sure you pay attention to Jason's shirt. I think that's the most important thing. Hi from Australia. Merc Mad. Merc Mad, I am very close to Australia right now. I've been hanging out with some Aussies here in Indonesia playing some paddle, which is a game very similar to tennis and racquetball, but a little bit different than either of those. But yeah, and doing a little bit of Muay Thai. I think every man, gentlemen, this is not something we discussed earlier, but I think I'll just throw it out there. I think every man should do some kind of fight training in his life. And I also think that every man should, to some degree, have a certain level of athleticism in order to protect his family, his wife, and his children. What do you guys think about that idea?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm a
I
fan
agree.
of martial arts as a kid. I loved those Van Damme movies, and then discovered Jackie Chan in the mid-90s and things. But I don't know, the older I get, it's like I used to be interested in like doing the splits and doing high kicks, things like that. And now I think I'm like Danny Glover. I'm just too old for that crap. And just give me, just let me move to a state where I can open carry, and we can just let everybody else worry about how flexible their legs are.
Oh, that's the other thing I was going to mention. Firearm training. I said a certain level of fitness because I couldn't remember the second one. But yeah, the second one I was going to say, I think that every man at some point in his life should take some kind of fight training, either boxing, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, something like that, and also learn how to handle firearms. I don't know.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was just going to say that. Like, I think every man should learn how to use a gun, rifle. Not only that, I think they need like personal training with it, like how to use it, kind of like an exercise. So not only just shooting at a target, but like doing movements and getting a bit tactical to just learn.
They do this tactical training in South Africa for the farmers who are getting attacked by the racist black Africans that are trying to basically kill them and take their farms. So yeah, we might have to do like tours to South Africa to learn how to shoot guns and run around and do all that kind of stuff.
I mean, it is the great equalizer because like I think every woman should carry a gun because that's the great equalizer. So yeah,
absolutely. And I used to have this idea for a show, and I called it Manning Up. Of course, it would have to be. Curtis is here in the chat again with another $100. Curtis is always jumping in here. We always want to post these afterwards and talk about them afterwards, but here he is. $100 again. Curtis is a madman. I don't know why he's throwing these out there, but we love him for it. Toxic masculinity. That's where it's at. Well,
Curtis is the only one that appreciates our true value. He's ahead of the curve. He's a very wise man. In the future, many other people will realize that.
No, thank you for your support. You're the reason why I'm here.
And Semperfied Crawfish Co. Again, I want to read these at the end, but this is too appropriate to what we're saying. Muay Thai and guns. Now you're speaking my language. Well, thank you very much. We'll put Curtis back up there. If you want to beat Curtis's generosity, feel free to give it a shot. I don't know if anybody else is going to try to beat. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, let's see. I had this idea for a show. I called it Manning Up. And naturally, it would have to be hosted by Peyton Manning or maybe Eli Manning, one of the Mannings. Definitely not Manning, but any of the football Manning family. And the idea was that you would get these guys who play a lot of video games, or maybe they're kind of like relying on their parents still in their 40s or something like that. These guys, they're not taking responsibility as men. And what you do is you put them on this game show, kind of like Survivor, but instead of doing the Survivor challenges, you have them do, like change a tire. You have them learn how to hunt. You have them learn how to skin an animal, how to butcher an animal, how to change the oil in the car, how to fix the engine, all these little things that men should naturally know how to do. You would have them engage in fight training. You would have them learn how to fire guns and how to clean guns and how to fix the guns. You put them through all of these man exercises, train them how to be a man. And I believe you wouldn't even have to train them in a particular profession. And the reason is because I believe that these men would gain such a degree of confidence after this kind of a experience that they would just get awesome jobs. They would just become providers. They would just become the men they've always wanted to be, because they've got that baseline of confidence. What do you guys think about that idea for a show?
I like it. Let's shoot it. Is this coming from personal experience or?
I've talked to Kurt about this, I think, but I've not. I don't think I've talked to Jason.
With the name Manning.
No, this is the first time I hear it.
Oh, did you? I'm not sure that's true, but I'll accept it.
Oh, of course you're not. Your ego won't allow it. We're longtime collaborators.
My ego would not allow it. Like, come on. All right. So let's just get straight into the news now. I mean, straight into the news. We took a little bit of time off, but let's look at the news. What do we got, Jason?
So our first article is a Breitbart article. It's what do scientists hope to learn from the total solar eclipse in the U.S.? If you don't know, there was a total eclipse that passed over the United States today. I heard that Jesus was supposed to come, but it didn't happen. So
he's a busy guy.
I guess we got to wait longer.
Damn. Taylor Swift tickets, so it was either this or that.
It's a rare total solar eclipse sweeps across North America today. Scientists will be able to gather invaluable data on everything from the sun's atmosphere to strange animal behaviors and even possible effects on humans. So, yeah.
Yeah, I actually find this kind of fascinating just because I love science and science stuff. And in this article, if you read the article, there is all this weird stuff that animals do during an eclipse. And I think it would be cool if scientists researched all that stuff. I don't have a lot to say about this because it just seems like valuable stuff. Scientists want to explore the sun and what happens during an eclipse. I'm all for it. I don't know. What do you think, Kurt?
Well, there's giants were supposed to be transported today. Jesus was supposed to come. There's a whole bunch of crazy conspiracies that were coming from this. It's hilarious, but the whole I just love what came out of it with the whole Trump thing. So
yeah. Well, we'll get into the Trump thing in a second. What do you got to say about it, Kurt?
From the eclipse, I would say the number one effect would probably be boredom, because I couldn't be less interested in the fact that there's going to be an eclipse. I actually read an article I saw. Maybe it was a meme, where it's basically like they keep talking about this eclipse is so rare, it's going to take 100 years, that eclipse, whatever. And then it seems like it's happening all the time. And I was just like, yes, I feel that way. Just like this eclipse won't happen again until like blah, blah, blah. And just like,
well,
okay,
I read that. I read in 21 years, it's going to happen again. So
in 21 years.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Chris,
Kurt, can you make sure that your phone is connected to the Wi-Fi, because your connection's terrible?
Really? I have no idea.
Yeah, just make sure it's connected to Wi-Fi and it's not using the cell phone.
Well, do you want me to? You want to put me off so that I can fiddle with my phone? Because I'm using my phone.
All right, I'll put you off.
Yeah, somebody in the comments was saying about that they saw like the totality of it. Frodo lives. And yeah, I've seen one before, and it's an amazing experience to go to witness that.
I saw a a total eclipse a long time ago. I think when I was a child. I'm currently like right next to the equator, so I'm nowhere near this particular eclipse. I don't think I'm going to be able to see it at
Yeah,
all. But
no,
yeah, it sounds cool. Like it'd be something that I would go and see if I could, for sure.
it really is. It's
Um,
it's the strangest thing when everything like the day just turns into night. But it's
uh-huh.
amazing. It's amazing. It's a great experience.
Well, it's not just a great experience in terms of the effect that the eclipse has on people. It's also a great experience in terms of what Donald Trump was able to do.
Yep.
Let's have a look here. This is Donald Trump looking at the eclipse.
Oh my god. This is so
I mean, that's quite funny. That's just it's just a bit of comedy there. All right, let's throw Kurt back in.
Hello. Hello.
I don't
am
know why your connection is absolutely terrible.
Well, it was your turn last time. Well, I checked it, and everything should be
Yeah.
fine on my end. I don't know what.
All right, technical
you
difficulties,
know how
ladies and
tech
gentlemen.
savvy I am, but even I couldn't decipher
true.
this problem with my my vast
All right,
experience.
all right.
Can
Well,
you,
we'll work
Chris,
on
on
it for
your
next
end?
episode.
On your end, can you actually see when I come back the viewership drop off? Is that an actual thing you can
Yes,
detect in real
yes.
time?
I can see that.
Well, anyway, we're still talking about
Frodo
the eclipse,
lives.
right?
Frodo lives,
No,
threw
no,
$5 in, and he says, "My dog started barking. The frog started singing. Stars came out. My vapor lights came on. Awesome. Your vapor lights. Does anybody know what that
Yeah.
means? I don't even know what that means.
that means he's horny.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Fine. All right, fantastic. All right, well, let's go on to the next story. I mean, unless Kurt wants to comment on the
I just thought
Donald
of
Trump.
one thing, not the Trump thing specifically, but do you expect a bunch of shenanigans to go on in terms of Democrats as when everybody's looking in the sky? Because basically all of the media machine is distraction. And Jason, you often say that it's all a distraction. A lot of people say this kind of stuff. So what is going on while the eclipse is happening is what I want to know. Because the Super Bowl was going on, they tried to fund Ukraine and Israel again. So with an eclipse, you got to assume there's something cooking up, right?
I'm going to go with they're transporting the Giants.
The Giants? The football team?
He's talking about one of the conspiracy theories that he mentioned.
They're transporting Giants by the helicopters. That's why they let the. That's why it's a cloudy day today. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, if Shaq is
I like that
missing
one.
from
I'll
the,
go with that.
From the panel on Sports Center tonight, I'll know where you went.
Oh, everybody says that you're coming through okay, Kurt. So maybe it's just for some reason on my system. I don't know what the deal is here. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next story, Jace.
So this next story, I'm not good at flying. I really hate to fly. When I get on a plane, all that goes through my head is this plane has a million little things that it needs to actually get on the air and get into the air. And if one of those little things, a little wire just snaps, we're all gone. So what they're doing now with the airline industry and all that, and it's like freaking me out. I don't think I'm going to fly ever. So another Breitbart article, Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 in emergency landing after losing engine cover.
Well, let's just play some of this video.
Go ahead.
Let's just play some of this.
Scare aboard a Southwest Airlines jet taking off from Denver. Video taken from inside the plane shows the engine cover breaking away and shearing off the engine as the plane ascends. The pilots immediately declared an emergency and returned to the airport. Details now from ABC's Jacqueline Lee.
I don't think we need details because there's nothing. Like, what are the details? We just got all the details. We just got all the details.
Yeah.
I don't think an engine cover is actually critical. They could actually have made the entire flight perfectly fine without the engine cover.
Well,
but I would think that
it was the engine cover sheared off part of the engine. Like it was a superficial sort of a thing that became a problem because the engine cover itself caused damage. At least that's what I gleaned from the clip.
I think she was saying it sheared off the engine, like it sheared
Oh,
away
it just
from the
sort of
engine.
like it fell off of the engine.
I don't think
Okay.
that it hurt the engine. No.
Yeah.
They came in fine. It was fine. But
Okay.
you know, it is terrifying, I imagine. If you-
Yeah, when you look
That's
out the
what I'm
window,
saying.
you see stuff falling off the plane. Yeah.
If you're not on the
Yeah,
plane,
yeah.
it's no big deal. But if you're on the plane, you think it's the end of your life.
Sitting here watching the clip, you're like, "Oh, engine cover, nah." Like, but you're sitting there on the plane, you're going, "Ah!"
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Hopefully,
yeah.
hopefully, William Shatner and wasn't
Yeah.
on that plane.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have taken it well.
But
That's a Twilight Zone reference, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
So,
I
what'd you
couldn't think
pick
of the other
that
guy's name.
clip there for, Jason? What was your thinking?
well, it's just crazy. Like, don't you find it funny that all these weird things are happening now with planes? Like, growing up, you hardly heard anything happening to planes, or if there was a plane crash, it was like very rare, or if something happened to a plane, it was very rare. But now, all of a sudden, when they're
24/7 news cycle, though, I mean, we have news just constantly bombarding us.
I
all
think
the
what's
time.
going on.
you
is
don't
the
find it
wife
weird
is
that wheels are falling
fencing
off,
around.
doors are breaking off, while this whole weird DEI thing is going on. That's what I
It
want
is
to get.
possible that whoever attached that engine cover was a black lesbian. It's possible. I don't know
The
for
DEI
sure.
thing is a valid concern, I think. But I think what's really going on here, Jason, is that the wife wants to take a Disney World trip with the whole family out to Florida, and you're just like, no, honey, we can't. It's way too dangerous. Don't you see the headlines?
Well, we don't have to fly. We could drive, so we're right there. So
Oh,
Yeah,
you should
that's
make
good.
it worse
He's-
for yourself. You really are a masochist. Let's take a car. Okay.
You know, they used to have this. They used to, in like World War II, or maybe even World War One. They used to have this. I don't know, it was like a myth or a joke or something that, like, if there was something wrong with the plane, that there was like gremlins in the plane messing with it. And I think that's a lot of where, like, these. I'm never flying again. Too many gremlins. Your wife's son just commented exactly what I was going to say. Curtis, our mega donor, says, Mr. Reagan, you're going to get in trouble. Yeah. Well, I like to mention the black lesbians. We got to throw them in there.
Yeah, on the subject of it, actually, like, gremlins were proven correct because one of them was a mayor for Chicago for a while there. So you can't say they don't exist.
Escaped the plane engine, and she ran for mayor, and she got it.
It's a shame that I don't have the tech savvy to cut to a clip from the John Lithgow movie, because there's actually a distinct resemblance from the Twilight Zone movie from the 80s, and Lori Lightfoot gets up in the screen. They're like, ah! It's just like, oh.
You're right. Actually, that's pretty funny. I could actually
Forget about
probably try to
Beetlejuice.
get that up.
We're talking John Lithgow gremlin action right there, which is a statement that would never be uttered again.
That is a scary woman. That is a scary woman. All right, Jace, let's move on to the next story. See, this is how quickly we do it, ladies and gentlemen. Just a couple of jokes, couple of insights, straight into the next story. Like I said, best live stream on the YouTubes. Hit it.
So, another Breitbart article. Report. Migrants along borders say they want Biden to win 2024 election. That's incredible. I thought they were all Trump voters. I thought they would all go for Trump.
What? Oh, holy smokes. Okay, so
I definitely thought they were Trump supporters. Definitely.
All right, why don't we throw this one to Kurt? Let me try to find the article. Kurt, go.
I mean, what did I do? Well, I mean, okay. So you're telling me it's basically like if you were in Nazi Germany and it was like, oh, you want to leave? Okay, then you will say, like, yes, that you love the Third Reich, and just like, yes, I love it. Okay, good. You're free to go. It's
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, do these people really like Biden, or do they just?
Do you want in the country or not? Yes, I do. Okay, pro Biden. In you go.
This is like beautiful evidence, like very clear evidence, which not like anybody needed evidence, but that the Biden administration really just bribes people. Right. I mean,
this is a typical tactic. This is a typical tactic by Democrats, because back in the 1800s they did the same in New York by letting it wasn't like Mexican illegals, it was Irish and I think Italians and all that. Like they would come in and they'd be like, "Yeah, come here. Make sure you vote for us. We're letting you in this country." So it's a tactic they've had for 100 years. But now it's just it's just even crazier because now it's just open border.
Well,
Free for all.
when your leadership from your party just runs their cities and towns into the ground in states, it's just like, okay, well, these people are not going to vote for us. You know, you see, I'm sure they're aware of the same thing we're aware of. It's just like black voters, everybody's going like, why are we voting for these people? Everything like they can see the writing on the wall. They're just like, okay, everything was good during Trump and everything sucks now. Just like, we're not voting for these guys. So it's just like, okay, well, who's going to vote for us? You know, we got the dead in the grave, and we've got like, you know, new voters. It's new Coke.
Yeah.
Coke Classic.
Well, it's interesting. It's you know, they don't even need the votes. I made a video about this a few days back, like last week or whatever. But they don't need these illegal immigrants to vote in order for them to benefit them, because all they need now is to fill up the blue states with so many illegal immigrants that, because the way that they count the vote on the census is they don't differentiate between citizens and non-citizens, which is a huge mistake, because we make a determination about how many electoral votes you get. We make a determination about how many House seats you get based on population. So if you're counting illegals as part of your population, you could have double the population in a particular state because you have so many illegals in there. And then you get double the amount of electoral votes. You get double the amount of House of Representatives.
We assume this was no oversight. This was clearly by design.
Yeah, they know exactly what they're doing, because it's not just Greg Abbott busing these illegal immigrants to these blue cities to let the populace know, hey, look, you know, this is what we got to deal with now. You got to deal with it. That was like a little bit of a trick, and I think it was quite a good and effective strategy, because people now do realize what's going on. But now we've learned that the Biden administration themselves are flying these immigrants in from Mexico. They're flying them in. It's like, what are you doing? You are complicit in this illegal trafficking of illegals into America. You're not really processing them properly.
And we always say Mexico, but I want people to understand that it's not just Mexicans or people from South America. It's people from around the world.
And this and this is also like further proof that the whole question of pathogens and pandemics and everything, that's just a lie. Because if you guys cared a whiff, you would be, you know, stopping at the border, checking on wellness, like they did in Ellis Island 100 years ago. They'd be like, oh, you're not healthy, we're not letting you in. But now it's just like, oh yeah, come on in, come on. Just like rubber stamp Biden, you can come on in. And we're going to fly you to across the state, well, across the country. We'll blanket the country with you. And just like, okay, so what about the pandemic that we supposedly had and the one that's yet to come? Oh, that's not important now because we can't use it to our benefit. That's inconvenient now. It's just like it's just complete nonsense.
Your wife's son commented a classic joke. I found out my grandparents voted for Biden. I went to their graves to ask them why. There's actually a better twist on that, your wife's son. There's a joke. It goes, I found out that my grandparents voted for Biden. I'm never visiting their graves again. I think is the sort of better version of that. Somebody posted that once ages ago on my channel, and I thought I'd throw it out there. Anyway, all right, Chase, let's move on to the next.
To sum it up,
story.
Though, the people that are doing this, the Democrats and the elites that are doing this, they're not worried because they think they're not going to feel the effects. But at the end of the day, they will. So there'll be justice eventually.
If there's any justice.
Okay, let's see.
Sorry, I didn't sleep last night, so I keep yawning. I'm trying not to, but I gotta get to bed eventually.
Is it because do you have another interesting lady story, Chris, that we can hear about?
The only interesting lady story I have is that tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock. Well, I don't know what time I'm going to post this. Maybe it'll be like 11 Eastern, something like that. I'm going to post a new video, and this video is entitled, "What is a Passport Bro?" And I'm very excited about this video. I think this is a very good video that I made. It's a bit long, but I think it's well worth watching because this is a topic that we've decided to cover next Thursday. We're going to make the whole show about this phenomenon of being a passport bro and this idea of feminism having ruined basically dating in America and our ability to be happy with a spouse or a girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever it might be. So we're going to dedicate an entire episode to that. But yeah, so I got this great episode. What is a passport bro? Coming out tomorrow morning. Check that out. But I spent all night working on where I'm in the world. It's the morning, believe it or not. But yeah, so I spent all night.
If you're not Jason, if you're not like super handsome and you found the last good woman in America, then you're basically like Chris and I, where we have to like watch plane parts fly off through the window as we hopefully find a wife when we land, if we land. But
you got to be a passport bro. I was gonna say that our whole episode on Thursday is just gonna be Chris talking about his escapades out there.
my brother actually, I was talking to my brother on the phone and I said, were you watching this live stream? And he says, yeah, but I have to turn it off whenever you start talking about dating women. And I'm like, I don't know. I think that's an interesting subject. I think people like to hear about that. He goes, yeah, but I'm your brother. I don't want to hear about that.
Okay. All right. So moving on. The Gateway Pundit. Out of touch Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says of DC, I can safely walk my dog to the Capitol today in a way that you couldn't do when we all got here. So, in other words, he's saying it's he's living in the safest America ever because of Joe Biden.
Or he's living in the safest DC ever, I guess is what he's saying.
Well, he's got a security team.
He's living with armed guards.
Security team with guns.
Hold on. Let's watch what he says here. Hold on.
So we need to talk about the reality here. And again, there is a lot of funding and a lot of energy going into telling a different story, especially on ideological news outlets and online. But the simple facts and the simple reality are right here staring us in the face, including the fact that I can safely walk my dog to the Capitol today in a way that you couldn't do when we all got here. So we need to.
All right, enough of that.
Yes. I can't stand that show and the Jen Psaki because it's such a propaganda. It's like so obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me The View any day. I can't take this propaganda.
Yeah, but this one specific is like, it's just it's government run that show that she has. It's.
Oh yeah. She comes straight
Official
from
Chinese state
the
media.
Biden administration right into MSNBC. It's disgusting. Yeah. No, look, like you said.
Yeah, I got a whole team of guys with rifles behind me while I'm walking my dog. That's the safest ever.
Well, I think statistically, crime is way up. Like crime is out of control in DC. You've got Muriel Bowser, who's possibly the worst mayor.
Your wife's son is on a roll.
Your wife's son has commented. He's talking about his husband in a dog suit.
She beat me to it.
Your wife's son, you got to come on the
walk may just be a gay euphemism we're not aware of, but just like, okay.
I don't know if it's a she. I know the word wife is in the name, but it's your wife's son. So you'd imagine he's trying to say that he's your son or whatever. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. Clarify it, your wife's son.
You're certified.
We're really getting off topic here.
Yeah. Okay, so
anyway,
Buttigieg.
Yeah. Jason has trouble saying Buttigieg because he always calls him privately when we're off. When we're not live, he calls him butt plug.
No.
And so whenever he reads it, he always has to stop himself from saying that and go Buttigieg. How do you say it really? Because I'm trying to be professional here.
Now I really can't get a job after this. So people, please support us.
Right, Trump will hook you up. All right, Kurt. What were your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, the statement that it's safer to walk your dog now than it was 3 years ago. It's like obviously on the face of it ridiculous. I mean, like we know for a fact that the borders are open. There's tons of people streaming across the border, including a record number of Chinese nationals. There is no way that dog is safer now than it was 3 years ago. It's just it just doesn't make sense.
No, that's a great point.
There's going to be a lot of great food, though.
Anybody else hungry?
Chinese people eat dogs. Okay, in case you missed that joke.
How dare you? I said no such thing, white devil. Cancel Chris Coles.
Yep. I'm the racist. All right.
Wait a minute. I'm getting a phone call. I hear my ringtone. Hold on. No?
He's Japanese, by the way. That's why that's funny. All right, hold on. We got to throw Curtis back up
For
here
the audience
because
out there,
there's
that
another
means teriyaki,
$100.
not chow mein.
Check this out, guys. So this is so Jason can eat and pay his bills. Don't worry about booty gouge. We love you guys. We love you guys. You're literally the best people on the planet. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. All right. We'll leave that up for a little while. Why not? Anybody who joins the chat, they should see how Pete Buttigieg's name is actually pronounced, right?
It's helpful.
It's helpful. It's helpful. All right. Yeah. So I think what we've learned in this segment is that Pete Buttigieg's dog is not safer because the Chinese illegal immigrants want to eat it. All right. I think that says it all. And also, Kurt has a Chinese-sounding ringtone. All right, Jason, let's move on to the next story, shall we?
So, Gateway Pundit again. Biden to roll out another massive student loan forgiveness plan in latest vote.
Yeah.
Is it a buying gimmick? Of course. Yeah. So he's gonna try to do a student loan forgiveness. I think it's they say like I think 10 million people it's gonna affect them. But at the end of the day, the taxpayer is gonna end up paying for that. And also, I read that didn't the Supreme Court say that was unconstitutional? So yeah.
He keeps finding these loopholes. All right, before Kurt gets his little hilarious jabs in, let me just throw this real quick because I actually have quite a strong position on this because I don't feel like my college education was worth it. I really don't. And I have no interest in paying my student loans ever in my life. In fact, I've contemplated many times suing the university I went to for falsely presenting the courses I was taking as valuable when they were absolutely not, and not really actually properly teaching me the course of study that I took. But and the problem is a lot of young people, because you go into college, like you start applying to colleges when you're what, 16, 17 years old. You don't know what the hell you're doing, right? And especially in our generation, we basically, I feel like we were kind of sold on this scam that universities, like as soon as you get a degree, you've got a great job and everything's going to be great, right?
Especially from our parents.
If you don't go to college, then you're basically signing up to be a failure. You never accomplish anything.
Yeah.
Now I think
especially for my parents, because I remember.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
Go on, Jace.
I was saying like because I think what do you call the generation before us? Anyway, our parents.
Gen X.
Oh yeah. That's not our parents. Our parents are boomers.
Yeah, boomers. They were
boomers.
like, my parents were fully like, you guys, you need to go to college. You have to go to college. You have to go to college. If you don't go to college, you're not going to get a good job. Mm-hmm. And I come to learn that that's not true. Like with my son, I'm going to raise him. Like if he wants to go to college, he can go to college, but I'm going to raise him in a way where, look, college doesn't determine anything. If you want to be a surgeon, a brain surgeon, go for it. But I read that most billionaires, most millionaires, the top 2% of people didn't even go to college. A lot of them even dropped out.
Yeah. Well, I think back in the days when our parents were going to college or could have gone to college if they didn't, that was actually true. I think that
Mhm.
that was true in like the 50s and 60s and 70s. Like if you went to university, you got a degree, even if it was a low level degree, you were pretty much set. You were good to go. But once you got to our generation, we were sort of the first generation where that was not true. And
Because
so
it was the
I think
hippies
we were,
teaching us. Our parents didn't have the hippies
Yeah.
teaching them.
well, but now, what I'm trying to say is I think nowadays people have wised up to this, right? And they
Yeah.
recognize that you can't just get a bachelor's degree. You'd have to get a master's at least
Yep.
to have any kind of sense of security. And a college degree, especially like a low level one, associates or bachelor's, unless it's in a field where you really can make money, is more or less useless. And so I feel like a lot of us really got cheated. And so, like, I do think that this Biden bribe essentially is what this is. He's basically saying, we'll pay off your student loans if you vote for me. Right?
Yeah.
It's a bribe.
Oh,
it's a bribe. It's
a
exactly
total
what
bribe.
it is.
Yeah. It's election
But
times coming.
I think there is something there, because I do think that an entire generation of kids were basically conned. Okay.
Mhm.
So then how do you fix that though? How do you fix that though?
But the generation
go to
that's
the-
going to get this generation that's going to get the forgiveness loan, they weren't conned.
No, they weren't. They weren't.
Yeah,
it was
our
after us. It
generation was
after us.
conned. Like, but we've paid our
But here's
debt already, and now we're going to pay their
here's
debt.
how. But Jason, here's how I would do it. Okay, instead of Biden saying the government is going to pay off your loans, F that. Why should we who are paying taxes pay off the loans for these kids that just pick bad degrees? They should be smart by now, because we're the ones that got screwed.
I know where
So
you're going to go.
if you took a stupid degree, you're just an idiot. No. So what needs to happen is the universities need to pay for that, right? Universities who tricked students into thinking, oh, your whole life is going to be great. Oh, and by the way, they like ratcheted up the price of university for our generation, like way beyond anything that had existed before. We were paying like, whatever it was, hundreds of thousands of dollars in some cases to go to university. And then the degrees were useless. And it's like, okay, so what was working before actually obviously wasn't working now. But you kind of kept selling it to us as if it was working now. So we all went to university. We all got screwed. We got stuck with these massive student loans. And the universities knew it. I believe it, sort of like sort of like the cigarette companies, right? The cigarette companies knew that cigarettes were causing cancer. They were like covering it up. I think the universities absolutely knew that we were getting screwed over. And they're just like, no, you can totally get a job this way. I don't know what happened to Kurt. Disappeared again. We'll bring him back here in a minute. But anyway, so that's my take on that. I think the university should pay. I don't think it should be the taxpayer. I don't think it should be plumbers and stuff like that paying for college students that have, crappy degrees. But I do think the universities, why are the universities getting let off the hook? They're getting paid in full.
I agree.
Over.
Once Trump comes into office, that's one of the first things you need to take care of. Like making these schools pay, the banks pay. I agree totally with you.
They say that conservatives are in this cult of Trump, right? And I never speak badly of Trump ever on my show, because MSNBC does enough of that. So that's the reason I don't speak poorly of him. But privately, I have major disagreements with some of the Trump policies, some of the stuff Trump's done. And I'll give you one example. Trump actually, and this is something that you can tell your friends if they say Trump's a racist, right? Trump actually, I believe, gave more money to historically black colleges and universities than any president in effing history. And I remember reading about that, and I was like, what? Why would you do that? Why would you give any money to any university, much less a racist set of universities that's like, we just want to help the blacks? It's like, how about
we don't even have to agree with each other, because I actually like that Trump did that. Basically to
the reason I brought you on the show, Jason, surprise, because you're the idiot. That's why.
Well, I just think.
Okay, why do you like?
Well, then why the hell am I here?
Because we do have kind of like
Go ahead. Sorry.
We need to open up. How do you say it? Olive branch or something?
Yes, extend them.
I think it'll
to like black voters or whatever.
Yeah, because I think that we need to get out of that just that one track mindset.
Strategically, as political strategy, you're probably right.
Yeah.
But you know what, like, because I'm like a principled person typically. I don't, on
Unlike
principle,
you,
I think
Jason.
this is. No, it's just my.
Way to shut down the debate. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I
I'll be honest.
I totally understand where you're coming from, Chris.
I could be convinced that Jason is actually doing the right thing. Talos15115, how you doing? He says, hi, Mr. Reagan. I thought I'd say hi back. Listen, I could totally be convinced of Jason's argument. I'm just saying my impulse is to be against this out of principle.
Agreed.
I just don't want to give universities more money. I don't think pandering to black people is ever a good idea, because I genuinely believe that we should be treating all the races the same. You know, just
Agreed.
But the Democrats have been beings. Black people are human beings.
The Democrats have been pandering to them forever. The Democrats have been pandering. What's like? Yeah, there's some ways I can be less crazy about things, especially in this one. He's giving it to colleges. They're going to college. Yeah, college is not going to really do much for you unless you're becoming a brain surgeon or anything. But still, it's not a totally like. It's better than just giving them free money, you know, for nothing. And I think it's just like I said, it's an olive branch to them.
All right.
I think politically it makes sense.
I'm warming up to the idea, even though I still hate it.
I think it makes sense in terms of optics, in terms of just like actually putting your money where your mouth is, because a lot of times too, like Biden as well, like Biden doesn't think anything, but like the Democrat machine has been talking about reparations, and that's never coming. That's just they're dangling that in front of people. So for Trump to actually do something about it, and then for it to get no press, you know, it's just basically like, okay, like I'm gonna do the things they only talk about doing, and then okay, we'll see what happens. You know, just sort of. But
I see the effect. Like I noticed there's actually an effect with the black community. I think I've seen personally and all that, like that they're realizing that big time Democrat Obama had done nothing for them, and Trump actually done a lot. And so I don't know if he might be doing the right thing. You know.
Okay, well, look, it's never happened before, but it is possible that I could be wrong. Okay.
Hey, if anything, I'm totally against affirmative action.
Yes,
totally.
Yeah. No, we all are in principle, of course. Yeah. No, we're all against that in principle. But you're right, as a political strategy. And it does look like it's bearing fruit, because we are getting, like, even Van Jones has gone on CNN and gone, you know what? We kind of got to give Trump credit for doing some good things for black people, like the black community.
Some integrity.
I don't remember what it was. There was some kind of like development stuff that he did as well for the various neighborhoods, communities. I don't remember what it was exactly, but yeah, we need the black vote. Look, I've said this for years. Black people are naturally conservative voters, Republican voters.
Yes.
They've just been kind of conned into believing that the Democrats have their best interest at heart. Do the Democrats have anyone's best interest at heart other than their own blackened hearts?
Hispanics
no,
as
obviously
well. They're very Catholic, and like
they're very Catholic. They're very
intrinsically
conservative.
Everyone is conservative. You have to be distorted and polluted in order to. I think
so.
Otherwise, you're going against.
You have to be tricked,
sense.
essentially.
You have to be swindled.
No, I've always said that if we want to start winning elections for real, like, you know, without we need to start marketing our conservative values in Spanish on billboards. We need to start marketing our conservative values on like Spanish radio, like on Telemundo. You know, if we can put our ads in those places in Spanish, and all you have to say is the Democrat Party is the party of atheism. That's all you got to say, right? Just put that on billboard, put that on the TV ads, whatever, in Spanish, and we will get that vote, because I think the Latino,
the Democrat Party wants to turn your sons into your daughters. Done. Vote's gone.
Done. Yeah, that's another great one, right? We should start an ad campaign company, like what do you call it? Like what is that called? Marketing company, advertising agency, ad agency.
There you go.
Ad agency. We just start an ad agency, and we'll sell that stuff to Trump. All right.
Well, this is the
I
last.
think-
do we have anything else?
I think the
Everything off
hardest
of
demographic is how you say it. I don't know, the hardest one.
Yeah.
And I if you want to win elections, is the liberal white woman. I think they're harder than the blacks.
I think we just got to give up on them, though. We'll just get the blacks, we'll get the Hispanics, so we don't worry about the
I don't know
liberal
if
white
that's
women.
Exactly.
true because
Exactly.
They're sort
Oh,
of being
Frodo
alienated.
Lives is a woman. I never knew you were a girl, Frodo Lives. I always just thought it was because Frodo from Lord of the Rings, I always thought it was a dude. She writes, "Hi, Mr. Reagan. I'm a girl raised with brothers. I learned to hunt and fish and retired out in the national forest. A vapor light is a street light. We have them on our property out in the country." I had no idea. I mean, I'm from Oregon. I assume that there's a bunch of that in Oregon as well, but I've never heard of that. That's cool. That's interesting. Thank you so much for that information. We appreciate you. And the hunting fishing girl is now being popularized on Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw this chick. There's this chick on Twitter. She goes like,
Oh yeah.
she like
I love
hunts
her, yeah.
catfish and stuff like that. She's a cool chick, man.
Yeah.
But she's also very feminine and very attractive, which is a weird
the
combination.
accent
but
is what I
works.
love.
Her accent's beautiful. It's kind of a cool. She's a cool chick, actually. I followed
Easy,
her
Jason.
on,
Your wife's watching.
All right, let's move on to the
Jason,
next
coming
story.
to you live from the sofa where he'll be sleeping tonight. No, but okay. Just one last point that I have for Biden's
My wife
world
likes her too.
weakness.
So
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
she's
shit.
cool. She's a cool chick.
I need a bigger bed. Sorry. That's not a catfish. So when it comes down to it, yeah, I don't agree with affirmative action and I don't agree with student loan forgiveness. But, supposedly the statistics that I was looking up, 97% of Black Americans are descended from slaves. I don't know if that's accurate. I was looking for various numbers and you don't know if it's true or not. But, okay, that's 97%.
I mean, it should be 100% other than the ones that came from Africa afterwards. Or like
Black
France
Americans,
or something.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it
Okay,
makes
100%
sense.
then. Okay.
No. It makes sense because you would have some people like I had a friend, Muhammad, who came from Paris.
Current living in the
So he
United
would not have-
States. So if you do affirmative action, you're like, okay, you're Black, you get reparations. Then it's like, well, some people have immigrated in the last,
Exactly.
last
Yeah, a
100+
lot of people
years.
would be getting reparations that don't even have slave ancestry. Yes,
Sure.
of course. Yeah.
Sure, but that's something we can all agree on is that 100% of gender studies degrees are useless. So if anyone's getting some money, it should be those poor bastards with the gender studies degrees.
Okay. That's a terrible. Nobody wants them to have any money. I'm okay with them being homeless.
Fair enough.
If you have a degree in gender studies, I'm fine with you being homeless. Sorry. All right, America's Most Wanted. Let's move on to the next story.
Okay. So the next one's interesting. So recently fired twice, Don Lemon, who described white men as America's biggest terror threat, marries a white man in New York. Can you believe that? This is a
Okay, hold
gateway
on.
pundit.
You know what? Let me show you guys some footage of this because this is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. Hold on. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, yeah, here we go. I think you guys are going to like this. This is not from the article. Matt Wallace posted this and he wrote, "I've never seen someone try harder to pretend to be happy than Don Lemon after he just quote unquote married his new quote unquote husband." Let's have a look at this crap.
His white husband's appropriating Black culture.
Yeah, I don't like. I get what he's saying because this looks incredibly phony to me. This does not look at all authentic. This doesn't look.
Well, they're waving, waving white rags in the air, so it was like a French-themed wedding. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, they're trying to
Asian. I don't know.
That's a joke about how the French give up very easily in war.
Two men getting married, period, is phony. So
yeah, men getting married is phony. But like,
There's a lot of
it's obviously very
toxic
stupid.
masculinity in that relationship.
There's
obviously-
there's zero masculinity in that relationship.
Yeah.
Sark. That was Sark, Kurt.
There's toxic something. I don't know what it is.
Sarcasm.
No, but it just looks like it's a photo op, right? Like they're just doing it for the cameras. They got their dogs there. They got their like,
Chris, isn't
you
every
know,
wedding a
over-
photo op? Honestly,
huh? What?
Isn't every wedding a
No,
photo op?
no, I don't think every wedding is just a photo op. I'm saying this is essentially that is its primary purpose. Thank you for interrupting for that stupid for me to have to like explain myself. Thank you so much, Kurt. But
You're the one wasting
look,
time now.
every wedding has obviously wedding photos as part of the wedding. I feel like this wedding existed for the photos. I think that's the kind of like, and actually sometimes you're probably right. Sometimes the women that they just want those photos for the rest of their lives. But yeah, this came across to me as very, very phony, very inauthentic, and just cringy. I think that people watching this were just disgusted. I don't know. All right, Kurt, you smart aleck. What do you got to say about it?
Yeah, Weisenheimer, you.
I think he
How
was
you
trying
do
to
the
shove it
cameras-
into Elon
when the
Musk's
camera's
face.
on you. Yeah, literally.
You got to understand that these guys are like two of my best friends. I love these guys. So if I'm giving them crap, don't. It's nothing.
Yeah. I legitimately do not like Chris.
Yeah.
I can't agree with his sentiments here. Sorry.
I am
If-
annoyed.
If Chris,
Don Lemon
if
made
Chris
it.
is not putting you down, that means he doesn't like
He's
you.
not paying attention.
And I don't like. If I'm too nice to you, I probably don't like you. That's true, actually.
Okay. Well, like you said in 2018, I think you touched on this. He said that Don Lemon said that white men represent the biggest terror threat in modern America. The full quote is, "So we have to stop demonizing people and realize the biggest terror threat in this country is white men. Most of them radicalized to the right, and we have to start doing something about them. There is no travel ban on them. They have a Muslim ban. There is no white guy ban. So what do we do about that?" Well, apparently,
true. He did say
we go
that.
Uncle Tom is what we do about it. Make sure that we're inside, not outside.
Exactly.
That seems to be what he
Weird,
settled
right?
on there.
But it's not just him. Chadwick Moore, who I actually know Chadwick Moore. He used to go on Tucker Carlson. He actually wrote Tucker Carlson's biography recently. Good book, highly recommended. I've never read it, but I like Chadwick, so I thought I'd push the book. But anyway, this guy had actually was the first person that I ever saw to observe this, which is that a lot of these like race baiting black personalities in media and also public figures, politicians, and and whatnot, they were married to or dating white men. And it was really weird. It was like, what is it? Like, you hate white men, like AOC, her boyfriend's
I
a
was
white
just
guy.
gonna say AOC, perfect example.
And it's like, why do you keep putting white men down, but you're dating one? Like, what is your effing problem?
Ilhan Omar as well. Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
I
Ilhan
think because
Omar as well.
I think because they've whipped white American men so badly that they're just pretty much like treat them as their slaves and stuff.
Slaves, yeah. No, they I think probably that's true. They've got these white men who are subservient to them, right? Who are the ultimate beta male. Is the kind of guy that sits with his knees together. What is Curtis doing? Curtis, stop sending us money. This is ridiculous. Okay, let's have a look at this. This is getting out of hand. He writes, "All right, last one for the stream, but you can definitely feel the sincere friendship between you guys, and honestly, it's good to see." Well, thank you, Curtis.
Thank you,
Curtis. Yeah, you're not really friends unless you're giving each other crap all the time. No, that's really kind of true. I love these guys, and we all love Curtis as well. Like, we have to, right?
Indeed, the interaction is very much appreciated.
All right, we'll leave that up for a little while there. Okay. Yeah, Jason, you have anything else to say about gay Don Lemon?
Yeah. So you guys think that marriage is a sham? Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just so over that guy. It's like I think he's just doing it to shove stuff in. It's like when you're losing in life and you were at a certain point kind of doing well, and then all of a sudden your idiocy and just toppled down, and now you're just like trying to grasp for anything. That's what I just think it is right now.
Do you think the marriage is a publicity stunt? I don't know how long they've been together, but
well, of course. I mean,
Hoff Power Concrete and Semperfied Crawfish Company says, Curtis, I'm about to do a live stream. We'll see you there. But listen. No, you make a great point because what happened with Don Lemon, right? Don Lemon had this unbelievable deal with X to exclusively broadcast his garbage content, which nobody was going to watch, and he was going to get $8 million a year. I'm
Can you imagine
blown
that?
away.
Can you imagine you get a second chance and
Yeah, CNN fires him because he's a useless piece of garbage.
Yeah.
And then Elon Musk is like, yeah, we'll pay you, come on our platform. And somehow he negotiates this ridiculous talk about the magical association of Negroes or whatever that movie is called. Good. Like, what kind of sorcery was that where he got an $8 million
I think Elon was really trying to like say, look, X is not just like a conservative thing,
a conservative platform.
We also look. I'm getting Don Lemon, the worst guy in that side of the, and so
we'll get some lefties in here. Sure thing. Yeah.
But he didn't realize. I don't think he actually realized how much of a douche this guy is. And yeah.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, I think it's
Chris, but so he throws in all of this insane. Oh, I want to be the first podcast in space. And again, Elon, offers on the table. If you want to sponsor an amazing live stream podcast, Toxic Masculinity is up for purchase. We just demand $8 million a year.
I said I'll do it for 50,000. So,
Jason, it's a joke. I mean, Elon Musk could sponsor us, but yeah, it's.
I'm ditching you guys for 50 grand.
Yeah, Chris, if Elon calls, Jason is not getting into the boardroom with us. He's a liability.
No, Jason's out.
Jason, if next time I'm going to buy a car, you're not coming with me.
Yeah, he's really under.
He wants the undercoating. He really wants it. Like, no.
All right, let's move on to the next story. We got quite a few to go here.
Okay.
Sorry, Kurt wants to throw something in. Let's let Kurt do it.
I don't interrupt you. I don't interrupt Jason. I keep sitting and waiting, and you guys are just like, okay, I guess nobody has anything else to say.
It's your technical.
I told you when we were off last time that you got to interrupt me more. Actually,
I have to interrupt you more. Okay, great.
All right, jump in.
So, I think the problem with this that I have personally is that people are calling Don Lemon a hypocrite, and I think that he's actually behaving very consistently, or he has been for most of his life. He pretended to be oppressed. He pretended to be a journalist. And I was pretending to be married. If you want consistency, your man is Don Lemon. And how about him being 58?
That's right.
He's 58.
Consistently the most phony,
and it's just like
the most phony piece of crap.
Yeah,
I'll give him that. He looks pretty good for 58.
If you want a phony, you got to go Don Lemon all day, every day. Make Don Lemons into Don Lemonade. That's what I say.
Consistently phony all day, every day. I absolutely love it. Yeah, brilliant observation. Anything else, Kurt?
I'm checking my notes here. I get easily distracted. Yes. So, okay. Well, I had something here that said Don Lemon is doing to marriage what Beyonce did to country music, but that kind of a standalone statement, so I don't have anything about that. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Here we go. So, like, they're giving him crap for marrying a white guy, right? It's like, look, it makes sense because you know this, Jason. You how long have you been married, Jason?
About 16 years.
About
15 years. Yeah.
Okay, so you've married a long time. So like, you've got to keep things. Don't take this.
Hey, I'm toxic masculinity. Are we supposed to know how long we've been married? Sorry, wife.
Kurt, unless it's his anniversary, it's of course it's going to be about.
So hey, I'm not a beta, right? I'm an alpha. Okay, I'm not supposed to know those things.
if you marry somebody, you're thinking long term. You got plans for the future. You're planning your whole lives out together, right?
Yes.
So let's think about this. Don Lemon has to keep things interesting in the bedroom, right? With this guy.
Oh my, Kurt, really?
So like he's a black guy, he's marrying a white guy. I mean, okay, so he can play Miami Vice, he can play Lethal Weapon. There's all kinds of fun games. NCIS LA, you know, like there's all kinds of fun stuff they can do together for their foreseeable future. Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, White Man Can't Hump. The list goes on and on. This is like, you know, they'll be old and gray. And
does he walk in and then centrally turn to his partner and say, "Mama said knock you out"?
Yes, exactly.
Because it's LL Cool J.
But like, so let's say, yes, we got it, Chris.
Okay,
leave the comedy up to me. All right, you're embarrassing yourself.
That was. Yeah, but I do that every time I do a show.
Like, it wouldn't be a show without me embarrassing myself. But yeah, so if he marries a black guy, what are they going to do? Play Bad Boys? You're just going to be fighting over who's Will Smith. It's just like, that's no fun for anybody.
Your wife's son suggested Amos and Andy, although I think they were both black. Although his husband, quote unquote, might do blackface in the bedroom. You never know. They may just get crazy, you know.
Chris,
your wife's son suggested Forrest Gump.
What did I miss?
Your wife's son suggested Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
And Mackenzie Pritchard suggested Shawshank Redemption.
Oh,
these are good. Kurt, you got him going. You got
him going. Okay, this will just be the next. What do we got? We're already at an hour, so this will just be the next hour. It's fine. Keep them coming, guys.
Yeah, just we'll just do movies and shows
with
one black
guy
and one white guy.
Than I can, then it's $100 in it for you.
Don's all like, "Call me Toby in the bedroom." That was from Jay Hess. Jay Hess must be black. You know, there's this thing. There's this thing in black culture, like Uncle Tom. Another way that you could call somebody Uncle Tom is to call them Toby, right? Which is Kunta Kinte in Roots. His white name was Toby. And so I had a friend actually who was running for office, and he got a phone call. I was with him. We were doing an interview, a video, and he got a phone call and he put it on speaker. And the guy's like, "You a Toby? You a Toby?" And I have no idea what the hell the guy was saying. I had to wait till he was off the phone. I'm like, "What is he saying?" He goes, "He's calling me Toby." Oh, in fact, he didn't know either because he was Jamaican. His roommate, who was like a black American guy, he had to tell both of us. Neither of us had any idea what the hell was going on. Yeah, Toby's like a thing, like you're a traitor to the black America or whatever. I don't know.
It's funny.
Anyway,
so the racist minority brought you and your mixed race friends together closer.
Yeah,
that's basically the
education. Anyway, are you done with that joke, Kurt, or shall we dwell on it a moment longer?
Nah, I think probably good. I think we peaked.
Okay, Jace, next story.
By the way, it's been a great marriage with my wife, and wouldn't change anything.
And Hoff Power Concrete and Semperfied Crawfish Company writes, Don Lemon would be all over Green Room, a white guy driving around 1,000%.
Okay, so we're gonna get into our ex-post segment. We have a post on Nancy Pelosi.
Oh my God. Yeah, this one's a little bit weird.
Yeah, you just have to show it because
I gotta find this one. Yeah,
Chris, I'm gonna need you to take me off camera. I really have to use the restroom. I apologize.
Okay. All right. Hold on one sec. Goodbye, Kurt. And then let's go ahead and play this. I'm not going to play the.
He really has to do that on live on the show, huh?
I guess.
Has to go
I'm
to
not going to play the audio.
Come on, that's so unprofessional.
A little bit of this. So her net worth started at like what was $160,000 or something back in the 90s, and it just skyrockets. Like she's now 9 million, 29 million. It's pretty crazy. If we jump to the end of the video here, it's like 99 million in 2020, 120 million in 2022. What do we get?
Meanwhile, she's going after Trump for corruption and saying he's criminal and all that. And I mean, Trump pretty much made his money legitimately, you know? And this woman, like, come on, this stuff really kind of angers me.
Yeah, she's pure evil, I think. I did a video on this woman ages ago. Basically, Nancy Pelosi is not just a little blatter, little peepee. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, so so Nancy Pelosi's father was the mayor of Baltimore. He was a congressman at one point. Then he became the mayor of Baltimore, and he used to sell government contracts to his friends for like exorbitant rates, and then he'd get kickbacks. Right? He was bribed basically. And the funny thing is, so one of his friends got caught doing this, caught bribing him and like giving him kickbacks and stuff. So his buddy got prosecuted, but the mayor of Baltimore, I think his name was D'Alessandro, Thomas D'Alessandro was his name. But the mayor of Baltimore did not get prosecuted. The mayor of Baltimore was Nancy Pelosi's father, was never prosecuted for this. And he just got away with it, I guess. I mean, it's like the weirdest thing. He was basically like an organized crime boss type guy. And he just kind of got away with it scot-free. And then Nancy Pelosi gets into government. She obviously is, she knows what's going into the legislation. She knows what's going to be passed through the House of Representatives. And she starts working with companies. And famously what happened was Nancy Pelosi basically had, when she was speaker, she had a bit of legislation that the credit card companies didn't want brought to the floor of the House. So they said, can you delay the passage of this? Can you kill this bill, whatever it is? So she did. And then they gave her this like super insider deal where she got to buy stocks before they went on the open market, like before it was launched, or I don't remember how you call it when stocks first go on the market.
Goes public.
And yeah, it goes public. And then once these stocks went public, of course, she made an incredible amount of money. And she does this all the time. She knows exactly what stocks to invest in because she knows what bills are going to get passed and everything. And actually, Nancy Pelosi has been able to craft legislation for years to make it so that politicians within government, House representatives, senators, and that they can get away with insider trading.
And she was asked that question once. She was asked that question once, and she was just blew it off like, "Oh, yeah, why not?" Like
she is totally. Her son has also been essentially involved in crimes with various businesses, and everybody else goes to prison. Nothing happens to him. You know, these people are unbelievably, to me, they are despicable.
Yep.
This is one of the most awful families in the country. What happened again?
Kurt went again. If there's somebody I really want to see getting justice, it would have to be her. Like,
I think I hate Nancy Pelosi more than any other politician. I know Biden is probably just as corrupt, or if not more corrupt, but I really hate Nancy Pelosi. Yeah. She's so damn smug. She comes out and she makes these like aggressive statements all the time about everything, about Trump. Nobody is above the law. Nobody is above the law. Oh, except you, okay, Nancy?
Shameless.
You bitch. Yeah, I hate that woman.
Yeah.
With a fiery passion. Yeah. I don't know.
That's why I always tell my wife, like, man, I'm in this Christian thing, and I really hope there's a God, and I really hope there's justice, because I want to see these people pay. Because they probably won't. They might not pay in this world, but damn it, I want to be there and see them pay in heaven.
No, you really
see them go to hell. Actually,
I was in the exact same frame of mind in Root, at least, where just like, people, when you see people like Nancy Pelosi, it's when it makes it a good time to be a Christian, because you can sort of like find some sense in the world, even in these times of like, Nancy Pelosi is in the position she's in. Okay, like that means the world is a bad place, but it doesn't have to be.
I'd be like, Hitler. No. Wait. Bring Nancy ahead. Hitler. No. Hitler can wait. Bring Nancy up first. Pol Pot.
we know
No.
Hitler's
Bring
bad,
Stalin.
but
No.
this
Bring
is
Nancy
Nancy
Pelosi.
Pelosi. That's hilarious.
We don't care about
That's
him.
hilarious.
We got bigger fish.
I had this joke I made up once. It was something like Nancy Pelosi is always going on about the Green New Deal, but it turns out that she's taken a lot of major flights across the country from DC to San Francisco, where she supposedly lives, on this year alone on her broomstick, which I always thought was quite a good little joke. Dame Piglet writes, if you ever remove Pelosi's corruption, she'd fall apart. Evil is what keeps her together. I think you're right. She's like the wizard in Big Trouble in Little China. She just like radiates evil.
These people, like Frodo Lives says that she's supposed to be a Catholic. They're none of that. That's just political right there. They don't believe in they only believe in themselves and money. That's all they believe in.
She's probably been to one of those like black masses, like this.
I don't doubt it. Probably, yeah.
Satan worship things. She's probably been to those things. She's just.
Of course she has to show. Chris, she's the honored guest.
What is it? Bohemian Grove. That's what it is.
Bohemian Grove. She's probably
the algorithm just went off. Sorry, we're gonna be demonetized.
And she's probably the first woman that was invited to Bohemian Grove. What'd you say, Kurt?
Well, I feel like living that way sort of infects every facet of your life. Like if you are that corrupt, it's just like, okay, well, can you even be happy? Can you even have a moment's peace when you know, you're going to be paranoid, like you're raising your kids in like this godless sort of serpentine fashion. So who can she?
I think this woman. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think this woman, Pelosi, she sleeps good. Has no issues, man. I think she thinks nothing's gonna happen to her.
She's a psychopath. Basically, what you say.
When you make a deal with the devil, you feel protected by the devil. I think. Dame Piglet jumped in again. She writes, "They wear Christianity as a costume."
Yes,
I think that is such a brilliant observation. That is so absolutely true. Oh, that's interesting. Frodo Lives wrote that there's supposedly a female version of the Bohemian Grove. I've never heard about that. That's interesting. All right, Chase, let's move on to the next story. I'm sick of talking about Pelosi. I don't know, unless Kurt has a joke about her.
No.
Okay, so
move on.
The next X post is End Wokeness, and which is a great. I would promote it. It's pretty good. They're good. 42 out of 50 states in the United States do not require a photo ID to vote. Countries that require a photo ID to vote, practically mostly every country in the world.
All right. This was an Elon Musk tweet, right?
Yes, Elon Musk tweeted that. Yep, correct.
All right, let me.
He tweeted a post from
that is astounding to me that they would not require photo ID. It's just like
so. This is from End Wokeness, but this is crazy. Look at this: 42 out of the 50 states, U.S. states, do not require a photo ID to vote. But then check this out: if you click this More button, you can see the countries that do require a photo ID to vote. There we go. Basically, every country in the world. You got UK, Italy, Chile, Spain.
Do you notice
Malta,
it's a lot of countries that supposedly they say here having an ID would be racist, like Brazil.
I know. Look at this.
Chile,
Botswana requires photo ID.
Well, Zimbabwe.
Yeah. Well,
Zimbabwe, Slovakia, Romania.
According to the Democrats, I thought blacks couldn't get IDs. What happened?
Yeah, black. Apparently, blacks in Zimbabwe can, and Botswana.
Well, they need ID there because they all look alike. Here, it's not that much of an issue, really.
They absolutely.
Just in line. Like, no, that was not me. You gotta show that. Shit.
That was not me. That's absolute genius. I love that. All right, Jace, you want to talk about this? Kurt, you want to talk about this? I don't have a ton to say about this one.
I just think it's just just incredible here how they manipulate they just manipulate people's thoughts and minds and you know just it's stupid. It's stupid.
Have you guys seen that video? It was from many years ago. This guy went to like Berkeley and he was asking these kids, you know, is it racist to demand photo ID? And they're like, yeah, because black people don't know how to get ID.
Yeah.
And then he goes to Harlem and he's asking all the people like, are you able to get ID? And they're like, it's still out there. And they're like, yeah, of course I can get ID. I'm not an idiot, you know. And he's
what
like,
can't you do?
Also he asked about like the internet, and they're like, oh, it's harder for them. They don't know how to use the internet or get on. And he would ask them, like, do you have a computer at home? Yeah, sure.
He's like, of course. I'm like,
so the lesson
it's so weird.
There's no one as racist as a young white liberal. Basically, is the lesson to be gleaned from this.
So
it's
true.
like, no,
That's
we have
so
to.
true.
We have to give this.
Yeah, your wife's son's got it.
So
It's Amy Horowitz or Horowitz.
Again.
I thought it was Horowitz, but Amy Horowitz or Horowitz, something. I don't remember his name, but yeah, something like that. That's right. Yeah, that guy. That video was absolutely brilliant and deserved all the success.
The black people were just like, yeah, like of course I do.
Yeah,
they looked so confused. That was the beauty
I love that
Yeah,
video
because
because
why wouldn't I have ID?
Because that's what
because
I've
you know
always
what
talked
he treats these people as human beings.
Yes,
and the contrast is so clear that
but
he's
that's
treating
our side.
these black people.
That's our side.
That's our side.
We treat everybody equally, like we do. Their side doesn't.
As individuals,
you know?
as individual human beings, and they're like, oh, but those
blacks.
poor animals,
Let me tell you something. Blacks, Hispanics, Democrats think you're dumb. Okay, they hate you.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's so true. They treat them like animals. They're like, how are the animals supposed to get the ID? The animals don't know how to get the ID. They're just dumb animals. The poor little animals. It's actually kind of sickening, really. All right, let's move on to the next
Malcolm
story.
X said it himself. Malcolm X said it himself. The people you got to watch out with is the white liberal.
That's true. Malcolm X did say that. That's actually true. He's like, because they pretend to be our friends. Yeah. All right, Chase, let's go on to the next one.
So moving on, the Babylon Bee posted something funny on X.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
Oh, this
can go with Don Lemon.
This must be the last one. I remember we were going to do this last.
So they posted, teen thanks parents for supporting him through that time of confusion. But can he have his testicles back now?
Well, Jason is a married man. Good. This is something you probably have sympathy for him.
Oh,
sorry, I couldn't resist.
You know, this is actually pretty funny. This is similar to a joke that I used to tell about how you know, when we were kids, I remember I would like look at this old photo album. This is back when you didn't have a phone to swipe through photos. You actually had a physical photo album you had to look through. And you'd see pictures of your parents in like the 1960s.
You're old.
I'm old. I'm an old man. You see your parents, picture of your parents in the 1960s with like the sideburns and, you know, like the long hair and the beard or whatever. And you'd be like, oh, mom, dad, you guys had crazy fashion back then. You had crazy hair, whatever. And 20 years from now, I was like, people can be flipping through, you know, their photo albums going, oh, can you remember? You remember in 2024 when we were all crazy and there was that trend and we all cut off our penises? I was so crazy. We were so crazy back then.
We thought Timmy was a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But somebody shows their scar. Like, look, I got this knife wound. Oh yeah, look at my scar.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, back in the 60s and 70s when you get a crazy haircut, like that was fixable. 2024
exactly.
Hair grows back, thankfully. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Timmy, you're not getting those testicles back. like once you've got that surgery, you're kind of done. And it's
well, I hear Elon Musk is on the job with that. So,
oh, is he gonna figure out a way to detransition people? Is that actually true, or are you just making that up?
No, I'm just saying that. X testicles. Okay. I don't know.
This is what I've always thought Elon Musk should invent, because to me this is the most valuable thing possible in our society. A shoe bomb detector. because you know what? I am absolutely sick and tired of taking my shoes off in the flippin' airport and having all these disgusting people take their shoes off. And people are like wearing flip-flops and crap so they don't have to like actually wear tie-on shoes. It's like, no, cover those disgusting things up. These are people who have never, that look like they've never showered in their lives, walking around barefoot in the airport. I'm just like, put some shoes on, you disgusting people.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you.
But this is the great thing.
The people with foot fetishes are weird.
I think they're like deranged. I think there are people that are like, what do you call it? Like self-inflicting. What do you call it? Self-destructive. Like they hate themselves or something. That's what I think about foot fetish guys. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway. Because here's the thing.
Just when I thought we were going to be friends. Oh well.
I mean, if that's your thing, like whatever.
No,
but,
I'm just teasing.
I think feet are just.
I do
ugly.
like Tarantino movies, so I'm honorary.
Yeah, right. Tarantino, my ex-wife was doing a movie for Tarantino. She had to try on some shoes, different shoes for the. Well, anyway, she was trying on shoes in the what's that supposed to mean, Franklin?
that took a while. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, so she goes to the dressing room. She's trying on shoes, and so she's got to take her shoes off, and she's waiting, and she sees somebody standing there, and she looks up, and it's Tarantino staring at her feet. No joke, really happened in real life. Isn't that crazy?
That seems.
And I didn't know he had a foot fetish before that. Actually, she had to tell me that, and I'm like, I didn't know that. She's like, yeah, it was weird. It was very uncomfortable. But
when back in the day when I was dating, like one of my biggest judgments, I would always look at the girl's feet, not because I had a fetish, just feet. Like I didn't like if the middle toe was bigger than the big toe, whatever, I'd be like, bye.
I'm the same, and I think it has to do with this. Is kind of a little weird, but my family, like we have really good feet and hands. Like our feet and hands look pretty good. And I didn't know that people had like kind of ugly feet and hands. I didn't know that this was a thing until I got like a little older. And then I started to realize like, oh, I'm not sure I want to date a girl with like ugly feet and hands. Like, you know what I mean? So now I like check out a girl's hands before I date her. And so it's kind of like a weird thing because you want, it's weird. Yeah.
I guess that's why we hit it off, huh, Chris?
I can't let those hold all my money.
Okay. Getting back to Elon Musk. So if he invented this, because it's like kind of a joke, but it's actually kind of
friends for so many years. Check these babies out.
Good looking hands.
Yeah, I'm a regular George Costanza over here.
But if he invents this shoe bomb thing, this shoe bomb detector, I actually think that if the federal government, it wouldn't be Biden, it'd have to be Trump because Biden hates him. The Democrats all hate Elon Musk. But I think Trump could like sign an executive order that like every airport had to have one of these things. And then you're making bank. You know what I mean? But if you travel the world, by the way, they don't make you take your shoes off. That's just an American thing. It's literally only an American thing. Well, it's friggin' weird.
Like in a lot of places, like where you are, Chris, they have to buy you shoes first and then make you take them off. It'd be a whole process.
Well, but the whole shoe bomb thing is so dumb. It's like, when has anyone ever like actually had a shoe bomb? There's this one guy did it once. It didn't even work. I think
it's all just to like control you. That's what it is. It's to make you.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Master.
Yeah.
So okay. We'll take my shoes off.
I don't even understand the motivation.
Well, even years ago, we saw they did like some like news stories. They did like investigative reporting. It was basically like it's security theater at the airport. They have everybody go through this whole rigmarole of getting scanned and everything. Meanwhile, if you're like delivering the food they serve on the planes, you just pull up to a gate with one dude. He sees you're driving a truck with certain labels and he just waves you in. You just walk right past it. So you could have like Swanson TV dinner bombs. Literally every baked potato could be C4 and nobody would ever know it. Meanwhile, we're taking our shoes off, our belts off. It's just giving people the sense of security that they're safe. But then when you see the housing of the engine blow off in mid-flight, that kind of goes out the window, literally. But I mean, like, what are you going to do? Yeah, it's security theater. It's all for appearances.
I think it's for control too. I think it's just to knock us down. And Chris, I think you should invent that. Forget about Elon. you should go ahead and do it.
I know. I mean,
Who needs Elon?
my family
That guy's
has a
overrated.
factory, so we could probably look into it. All right, let's go through these super chats one
He's
more
not that
time.
smart. He almost hired Don Lemon. The guy's fully like, yeah. He has so
Elon
much
Musk.
credit. Yeah.
Well,
He had to sit
I think
down
he
with him
kind
and do an interview and be like, oh, I fucked up.
yeah,
Man.
yeah, the whole Indian
Oh,
exactly.
he's doing that interview. You're just like, what was I thinking? You can see.
Well,
it
I
turn.
love that he does
Like-
the interview and then
Ben
immediately
Affleck
after it goes,
during doing press for Batman Superman. He's just sort of like, yeah, I'm in a bad movie, ain't I? Anyway, go on.
yeah. I love that Elon Musk though gets done with the interview and like
It's
literally
true.
like as he's getting out of the room is like, do not sign that contract. Like this guy's done. This guy's
Yeah.
done. All right,
To
let's
quote
read these.
Donald
super
Trump,
chats.
you're fired.
You're fired. Curtis, toxic masculinity. That's where it's at. I love this super chat. This may be my favorite super chat of all time. Thank you very much, Curtis. That is absolutely brilliant. We love you, of course. Hoff Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company writes Muay Thai and guns. Now you're speaking my language. That was back when we were talking about Muay Thai and guns. Frodo Lives says, my dog started barking. The frog started singing and stars came out and my vapor lights came on. Awesome. We were talking about the eclipse, I believe. Let's see here. I didn't read this one yet. This is from God's Man is Tough. And he writes, move to Louisiana. We still have normal women. Well, Kurt's been thinking about moving to Georgia for quite some time, actually, which is relatively close.
Yes, I have close friends in Georgia, and it's north of Florida. So, we're right in that sort of the freedom concentration area of currently in America.
Yeah.
But I think
All right,
Georgia has a state tax.
Another extremely generous super chat here from Curtis.
Something to consider.
This is so that Jason can eat and pay his bills. Don't worry about
Thank you.
Booty
Thank
gown.
you.
Then Curtis writes, again, another very generous $100. He writes, all right, last one for the stream, but you can definitely feel the sincere friendship between you guys, and honestly, it's good to see. It's fake. We're lying. we hate each other. Let's see. Hoff Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company, $2. Curtis, I'm about to do a live. I'll see you there. I
Well
still
played.
get a kick out of that. That's great. And then Dave Piglet writes, happy Nothing Burger Eclipse Day. Absolutely love it. If you want to see your super chat on the screen, go ahead and throw that up there. Or, leave it till Thursday, because Thursday is going to be a fun one. We're going to get all into the concept of the passport bro and the concept of American women versus foreign women. Are foreign women better than American women? Are American women better than foreign women? I'm just putting out a video about this tomorrow morning in American time. And
Spoiler alert.
It's a
women in every other country are better than American liberal women. Let's do
well, that's the thing. So I do make clear.
Chris Coles,
I do make
Mr.
clear
Red.
that there is an exception for anyone who watches my show.
Yeah.
But I do think that we've lost something in America, no matter which side of the aisle you're on, actually, because I think feminism has actually encroached into like every aspect of American culture, and it is really
don't give up the show
destructive.
yet. Don't give up the show yet.
No, you're right. Yeah, you'll watch it. You guys will watch it. It's a good one. It's a good one. All right. Well, that is it for today. Do you guys need to say anything, or are we good to click off here?
No, had a great time. Thank you, everyone, for chatting with us.
Yes, I second that motion. And
Yeah. You guys make this
sweet. I think we got a lot of. Sorry, go ahead.
You guys make this a lot more enjoyable in the chat. We absolutely love you guys, and thank you so much for watching. We are going to peace out early today. Normally we go from 7 to 9, but we're going to go Eastern time. But we're going to go from 7 to 8:30 because I didn't sleep last night and I want to take a nap.
A passport bro is a hard life.
Passport bro life.
It's not all wine and roses.
What's the line? Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. Something like that. Anyway. Damn, it feels good to be a passport bro. Today was a good day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head out, and we will see you on Thursday. We're going to have that big discussion, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned
Looking
for
forward to it.
my next drop, and yeah, I look forward to hanging out. I actually kind of don't want to hang up because I don't want to like stop hanging out with you guys. Isn't that weird? All right, well, maybe I'll give you a call afterwards. All right, see everybody, and remember, it's not that liberal friends are ignorant; it's just they know so much that is not so. Good night.
Good night.